It's Wednesday, time to talk about some comic books that I read. And really only have two. There was a third. It was a Green Lantern issue, but I missed one, or maybe even a couple. I don't know. So I think I will have to catch up with that later and perhaps do an overview. It's good. It's been a good run for the Green Lantern, in spite of the interruptions of events and whatnot. Meanwhile, speaking of events, I guess All In is considered an event of sorts. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's the case here with issue number 2 of Justice League Unlimited. And the unlimited part is akin to the cartoon where everybody's a member, you know. Yeah, I don't know that that's going to last. I guess you can constantly shift the roster around, you know, but everybody knows the main members of the Justice League. It's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, The Flash, and Martian Manhunter, you know, and a few others come and go. And that's about it, you know. If you don't have those guys on it... Anyway, this picks up with some mysterious, terrible thing they're dealing with. So, oh no, bugs. Well, the cover may be a bit misleading. Starts off with poor Blue Beetle. Oh, it looks bad. But Batman, help me, help. Oh no, oh no. I wonder what this is going to lead. Well, maybe it will. Maybe they'll come back and say, uh-oh, something terrible happened and his beetle suit's been corrupted or something, you know. But it's a bit of a really scary horror-like element of the opening, and it doesn't amount to much. Yeah. So anyway, oh boy, it's Costa Rica, so inside, please. It's past curfew. Oh, right. Is this about your monsters? And they're, speaking Spanish, but he put the little thing on there. That's how we can read it. Anyway, ooh, scary boogeyman, fly the night skies. Come on, man. And here they come. No, they're not boogeymen. They're parademons. Dum. But then, suddenly, they're a little nervous. What happened? That familiar sound of the boom tube. Who's coming? Uh-oh, it's the Super Friends. Parademons, Justice League, attack. So here we go. You got Superman and Wonder Woman and a few others. They decided to give them something to do, you know. There's Green Lantern's girlfriend, Martian Manhunter, holding up the end here, but there's a reason for it. Yeah, we do discover something about Martian Manhunter in this issue. Yeah. And Mary Marvel. Yeah. So anyway, oh, that's it. Well, that's your review. It's all right. There's a couple of okay things. They're wrapping up this thing, and it's kind of silly at the end of it, because apparently these parademons have been, nesting and making more of them, and they're a bit of an offshoot of them, as one of them managed to maintain a certain sentience, which makes me wonder if this particular parademon might return later, but whatever. They were just waiting for the word from Darkseid on some mission they were going to perform and all that, and they were kidnapping kids and whatnot, and then they find out, he's dead. Well, is he ever really ever? Oh, he created the absolute universe, so he's off doing that, But anyway, yeah, so the guy's like, what? It's kind of silly. But we discover something about Martian Manhunter. Dr. Occult is along for the ride. Hadn't seen him in a while. But he was there. And paired up with Martian Manhunter because, well, you'll have to read to find out what's the problem with Martian Manhunter. Yeah. You get a tease for the Atom special that's going to happen about trying to restore powers that were all messed up after absolute power and all that. And but Blue Beetle, yeah, that really scary opening, and Batman shows up and says, "Yeah, we got our asses handled to us by those nasty parademons and all that stuff." And then they just off to the side say, "Yeah, we got Blue Beetle back. It's fine." So it's one of those things where I wonder if they'll revisit it, where I don't know, the parademons infested Blue Beetle with some sort of thing that takes over his armor and turns him into a parademon, something like that. Maybe. But it just seems to have been, look at this. Oh, my God, what's happening to Blue Beetle? And then, he's fine. So I don't know. But, of course, Dan Moore's art is excellent. And it's all right. The ongoing mystery about Airwave and all that continues. But that's all about. Stay tuned. But, they wrap up this threat, and for the most part, Superman's in charge of his team. Batman, of course, works as the strategist, and he comes in and, picks the right players for the right mission and stuff like that. So there you go. Justice League Unlimited, number 2. Meanwhile, World's Finest has consistently been one of the best superhero titles available over the past year or so. And quite a few, even some of the, not as par excellence as some of the other issues, was pretty good. Then there's this one. Now, this isn't bad. It's not bad. It just isn't up to the standards. And it's not just because Dan Moore is not available for it. Of course, that doesn't help. But so you get a Batgirl and Jimmy Olsen story with, Bat-Hound and Superdog. And, of course, Superdog's in the movie. So, you got to have him around. Anyway, the planet Altos 9, new hub of the Galtarian Empire. It's over, Galtar. Surrender peacefully, and we'll deliver you to the guardians of the universe. Resistance, the prison planet Tacron Galtos. Resist, please. The art is very cartoony but painterly, and this is a silly story, even though it starts off kind of serious. So it's somewhat appropriate to it, and for the most part, in some elements, it's not bad. But in others, it seems to lose its consistency, which is a problem. And boy, to go from Dan Moore to this, it's a bit of a problem. Although the alien villain here looks pretty cool, though. I mean, he's hideous and all that. I'm sure his mommy thought he was cute, Anyway, Superman, Batman, Robin, you are invited visitors to my realm. What right have you to make declarations? Hey, something's going on with all the other aliens. Oh, man, his brains are coming out. Is Batman naked? What? Yes, bad color scheme. Anyway, we speak on behalf of the planets you've already ravaged. You and your golden eye. From James Bond. Feed off the sanity of innocence. I rid them of worry, of care or burden. Only after their minds are free of conscience and reason are they fit to serve me. Soldiers must be broken before they are rebuilt. That's the golden eye. Blink, blink. Witness. Batman, it hurts. It's the eye. It's forcing its way into our minds. Fight back. I guess it's turning his eyes red and all that. But then Superman just blows that away. Because he's Superman. So he freezes the eye, and that's that. No! No! Enough! Hey, I realize you can't understand me, but you and your people are okay now. It's over. So shortly, they're in some sort of protective bubble thingy, and Superman's carrying them back home through space. The locals have recovered. The case closed. Why the long face? It's weird is all. What's weird? It's just, don't eyes usually come in pairs? And there you go. You got a pretty good set. I was like, uh-oh, the threat's not over, is it? So that's it for Superman, Batman, and Robin. The rest of it is Batgirl not being all that impressed with Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen kind of trying to flirt with her. And you can't blame him. The Crypto the dog recruits him for this mission when this is like in the past, and so it's a couple of years later, I guess, or whatever, or maybe just a few months. And he's getting revenge. He found, there were 2 golden eyes. He found the other one. They just, I guess, looks like he left it behind his alien toilet there or whatever. And all he gets is revenge. It's a bit strange. And that the Gotham City gets attacked, but not everybody can see it's happening, but the dog can and the crazy people in Arkham can. And but after all that, they reveal that, that's why you couldn't see it or whatever. And but it's like it looked to be massive damage, and they're just like, well, we wrapped this up. It seemed odd. And the other thing was, well, Jimmy Olsen in the old days, in the early Silver Age and whatnot, he would have all these weird adventures. He turned into a giant and a turtle boy, and then he was a rubber man and all that. Well, apparently he's got this vial of his elastic powers just sitting on the shelf of his trophies from his adventures with Superman. So Crypto the dog comes along and says, hey, need help. And he's like, what is it, boy? And then he says, you're telling me to drink this drug that gives me elastic powers? Okay. So he does, and now he has elastic powers. But it's like all this time he's got these, at least elastic powers. And it's like he could just be Elastic Boy or whatever all the time. Or maybe that was the only vial he had, and then the dog told him to drink it. So that's that. Once it wears off, he won't have his powers anymore, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, he and Batgirl saved the day. Turns out Superman, Batman, and Robin were being held prisoner by this alien guy, and he was holed up at Arkham and using the crazy people for it all. Anyway, you'll have to check it out, but it's probably the weakest of the World's Finest line. This wasn't all that great. And there's been a few that weren't up to snuff as the line has been going, but it's not like this is it, it's ruined or anything like that. And as it goes, I've seen some really crappy comic books recently, and this one's still better than that. This wasn't that great. That's too bad. Anyway, I got a stack of comics to get through, and I'm thinking, now don't hold me to this, but I might review those for the Sunday Comics show. Since I haven't even picked out a public domain comic book to read yet. And I thought, you know what? By then, surely I would have read all of these. So I'll go through those and probably do those Sunday. Yeah. And then, then what am I going to do for Wednesday? Well, there's always a look back. The Green Goblin stuff, you can do that. Yeah. So something like that. Anyway, that's it for this one. We'll see you next time for, probably Sunday Comics. But then again, after that, it'll see you next time for Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics.